Think of your future, ladies. Well, it's definitely not those two. All right. Oh. Came down to Starbucks, minding my own business, practicing my constitutional rights to freedom of speech and publication. I've been followed by gang stalking University of Michigan students that just hacked me out of my Facebook account for the second time. And apparently the nose blower is some type of faculty, supporting faculty. Not the only one, but there was another one at the U of M library, undergraduate library, Shapiro Library, who from a, I don't know, I would say a 30 feet distance with a laptop was burning the hell out of my, the back of my nape and I don't know, I guess some type of radiation saturated sinuses of mine. And the top of my head, which apparently has something to do with the hair, having a electroconductive metal makeup, or you know, for something that I must have been poisoned with or ingested. As a consequence of some deliberate, malicious, poisonous intent, in addition to the numerous gang stalking incidences that I've experienced for the past 3 years here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, all of which are hundreds of videos on a number of Facebook accounts that I've been hacked out of with the spelling of my name, as well as a number of, an even greater number of YouTube accounts with my name. So before I giving everyone fair warning, run analysis of this public Wi-Fi here. Google public Wi-Fi at Starbucks. Let's confirm my suspicion of why the top of my head is burning still if possible. You're welcome to assume that I might be delusional or experiencing a psychotic episode. But I invite you to evaluate the details of every video that I post. Because if I didn't apprehend a circumstance or a situation that I did not feel would show merit to my apprehension of harm, I would sustain the harm and avoid being judged delusional or psychotic. And that's something a psychotic or someone experiencing a psychotic episode would not do. Plain and simple. No. Do they know? Why don't they care? I have no idea if they know or not. I can't imagine that they would. If I knew, if it was a saturation of helium to fill up balloons, if it procures that effect with my device, I'm out. So are they misled? What is that? Whatever it is, it burns the top of my head. Got the same effect at Espresso Royale Cafe. Oh, that faculty member seems to think that he has the answer. Pretty scary, huh? Some type of chemical or reagent that could single out an individual, a poisoned individual. I'll have to post with this video a cartoon that was presented at a exposition at the Duderstadt building on North Campus of Ann Arbor, Michigan, University of Michigan. Huh. 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 It's not that big of a thing. Huh. 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 Hmm. Hmm. Huh. Huh. She's smart. At least there's someone. A cup of coffee is not worth that. Now, before I take my leave, let me conduct my due diligence to secure my account. Once again, in a Starbucks cafe. The Den. Nope. U of M Public Safety not only has no jurisdiction here, they did not come to your rescue to cover up your crime this time. Of which amounts to homeland terrorism. I don't understand why you wouldn't be eligible for Guantanamo the same as any other illegal alien or foreigner. World history. Maybe you'll get to that class. Out of 153. We'll have to find out what that is. Mm-hmm. So what do we got here?
Do you want a copy? No, no.
Ah, I recognize that that virus that is supplanted on my device via low energy Bluetooth transfer at the very end there. NFBD successful. Huh. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. So what is 153? That is GMS. That's Google. That's Gmail. That's a felony, a high class felony. We know about Gmails, right? Emails. Hillary Clinton. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to do this next. Verbose log account of the Wi-Fi. All right. Um, Next. Price. No, don't move yet. You're sitting rather close in back of me. If my app's not working, it's your fault. And your debt to my camera's aperture. I say that's not the one, but they hacked it well enough so that I couldn't put my finger on it. It should be running much smoother than that. Earphones. Expensive earphones made with it's that special metal that is used to create use a semi and or superconductors to render highly charged electromagnetic atmospheres or electromagnetic fields in any immediate space. Is it neodymium? I'll have to post an article that I have on that fact. Ann Arbor, Michigan, where the moderate to no talents from middle class America satisfy their boredom with expensive, harmful toys and mismanagement and understanding of severe repercussions of handling dangerous reagents that are supposed to be contained within a lab, thereby exposing the public to harm, including myself. And then second, all right. Hold on. Huh. And then I would have walked only this distance from the undergraduate library. The subject of my previous video. That's the Michigan League, the Mendelssohn Theater is attached to that. That was the video that involved the numerous lead crystal attack with the draw of a capacitor boost saturation of radio frequency Wi-Fi radiation. You can't see the capacitor, but you can see the radio with 4 antennas. What would you call it? The IT person who oversees the facilitation of the Wi-Fi signal throughout buildings with various radios. They can how should you say, produce a more powerful signal of Wi-Fi for any particular given Wi-Fi radio. And that can be coordinated, which I believe it was in that circumstance, to act like a capacitor with the draw of the lead content of the crystals. Of course, this is on a campus where apparently where it's common knowledge among faculty and students and staff that I have been harmed or poisoned or contaminated in some way with some type of laboratory radioactive substance and or other weird or strange electroconductive reagents. And I've been made a guinea pig joke throughout campus, being that I am dependent upon using public Wi-Fi. And as a resident of the state of Michigan, a previous enrolled student within the University of Michigan system, I am granted the privilege of dwelling in public commons and using that guest Wi-Fi, as it calls, as you see there in guest. But clearly I have become unpopular because of this common knowledge that I am perhaps some way contaminated or poisoned, and instead of anyone coming up to me or helping me or offering to help me, they would just rather I be gone and disappear, and you got your poison, you got your harm, and no, we don't want you around, kind of thing. Very extremely inhumane, inconsiderate, not quality by any means. I don't see the intelligence here with all of this. Maybe you might, as a prospective employer or a graduate school recruiting. But if there's an ignorance of humanity and value for human life that is demonstrated on such a large scale on a campus that I believe has somewhere around 30,000 students alone, what in the world do you expect them to do with your interests and in your company. And then naturally, the residents and the homeless in Ann Arbor, Michigan are supportive and sympathetic because Ann Arbor City is considerably dependent upon the university and the revenue that it attracts with the students on an annual basis. So one life is not worth all the money and revenue that the students bring in for overpriced tuition. Which perhaps at one time was justified by the integrity of the reputation of this institution after the 1940s, when I believe it's the last, at least reference on Wikipedia that holds that the University of Michigan engaged in practicing unethical human research, experimentation with harmful virus induction. That's just on Wikipedia alone. So, if ethics matter to you, if humanity matters to you, if character matters to you, if honesty matters to you, if safety matters to you, and your interest, your business, whatever it is, your life. Here we have the hospital. Why are these hack? Are there hack exploits at a hospital? Of which I posted videos experiencing that firsthand. I don't get it. This isn't MIT. Let's face it. You know, the best and the brightest are not here. They're at Ivy Leagues. First and foremost, I don't understand this. I'm not saying that U of M is not a quality institution for higher learning. I mean, or at least I'm not saying that. Well, I know I'm sure it still has some merit, but what merit matters if a human, unethical, and unconsenting human experimentation that has gotten out of control to the extent that I present proof and videos of my harm that can only be brought about by agents and substances that, you know, a high secure institution would have access to, and or a research institution with less security protocols. Ignorant, spoiled, I don't know what you. I don't know. I don't even think it's a class thing. It's, you know, because it all of this is dependent upon common sense. Outside of a research model, it's just common sense. You know. You know. So anyway, I don't normally speak like this. Today I'm a little fed up. If you've watched the previous videos, you can understand why. Please continue to make your own independent judgment off of what I post. of which is clear and convincing that I can't possibly make this up myself, is real, and it's really happening here at the University of Michigan. Really, really happening. And the health professionals, doctors, nurses, social workers at the University of Michigan Hospital, of which I've gone to and complained to numerous times, they're covering it up. You know, it's not a matter of negligence or mistake or error. They've tried to characterize me as prone to psychosis and what's the other, bipolar disorder. I mean, I have a psychiatrist that I've seen for 10 years. He knows better. He disagrees with that. And, you know, he's in the Detroit area, so he's outside the University of Michigan network. So just a demonstration of unethical, inhumane, cruel, reckless, negligent, ignorance, homeland terrorism, liberal extremists, feminist extremists, whatever you want to call it. That's my take on it. And it doesn't help Starbucks, a coffee chain that has a history and reputation for inhospitality to African Americans in particular. Who seem to be more than sympathetic to supporting whatever the University of Michigan condones or remains aloof to, posing a harm and a threat to the public. I'm sure that I'm not the only one. I'm just the only one who has the audacity to stand up, make the videos regardless, you know, and willing to go homeless and poor and unpopular in the city. Refusing to leave because until I find out what's wrong with me, get the treatment for it, and then seek civil damages of redress, deserving. So that's all that I have right now. And that's why I remain here. And someone has to do it. It has to stop somewhere. So with someone.